What's up, y'all? I'm Ryan. This is So and So Farms. That's a dirty hat. We are still in rice harvest, but we pulled out for a little bit to jump over and get the corn. I think Shane may have finished corn last night. If not, he's got probably half a day. We are down one combine. Shane put the number 2 9870 that he was running on the corn header, and it had a main drive shaft go out. Goes along the top of the rotor, if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we swapped the number 1 9870 over there on it yesterday, or he did while I was at work, and got back after it. So he adapted quickly. We actually went and got a part, and it wasn't all the parts we needed. Blah blah. So that's where we're at. We are trying to get some ground worked behind the combine. I pulled the humdinger over some rice straw. That's kind of how we do it in our area. We'll pull that humdinger. It'll uproot the straw that's still on the ground and fluff it all up, kind of like hay. Even we let it dry for a couple days, and then we come back and burn it. So that does two things. That smooths up our levees quite a bit, and then gets rid of the straw. That way, if we get any water in the winter, it doesn't wash everything up to a corner. So doing some of that, and we've got the turbo till hooked up, and some of this rice straw we're actually going to incorporate back into the dirt on some of this sandier ground, just to kind of build up fertility a little bit over the years. So that's where we're at. Old 9300 out here. Matt's been disking this. As you can see, it doesn't really get rid of a lot of the straw, but up here water don't get there, so we're not worried about it floating off. This is real sandy ground, so we want to get that straw incorporated, as much organic matter as we can, back into the dirt. It'll just help this old sandy ground build up over the years. That's what we're gonna do. Looks like he got about half of this field done. We'll jump in here, do the other half, and then there's a field over on the little field on the other side. So we're gonna get after it. It's very seldom that I get to come get on a tractor and make circles. Probably should clean that window off. That's the glass that we bought for this thing. It's gonna be different driving this thing without tinted windows on the side. Check my oil real quick. Good. Give the old primer pump a few pumps. This tractor loses prime sometimes after it sits, and it cranks and it starts, but it's just hard on it to have to crank that long. Give you guys a tour of my office for the next couple hours. Just not happy with the way this seal's right in there. This glass came with its own seal. But 9300 is a quad range transmission. It does have auto steer on an old brown box over there. Pretty good old tractor. There's some things on it we've got to fix. There's a little tube down there, some kind of exhaust tube, and it's a little bit loud. This door needs a new seal. But other than that, it's a solid old tractor. We bought it last year. Had to come back out to the 9300. We had a flat on the turbo. I'm going to ether that on here in a second. And then we got a fire going. We're going to burn that straw over there while I got Braxton with me. We got a little breeze. So we're going to go light that real quick. Got the old Ranger out to do the burning with, or a trusty torch. Well, me and Braxton have been doing some burning. We burnt this rice field here by my rent house. Ignore the writing on the window, that's from the glass. Yeah, just disking it under. This is a gumbo field. We got to disc it while it's dry, otherwise it'll turn into like a greasy mess. So that's what we're up to. It's kind of loud in the tractor. We're missing this little, I don't know, it's some kind of primary intake deal or something, some kind of suction on the exhaust. But anyway, John Deere is not open today, and we're having to just run without it. But that's okay. Just a little loud. Turbo's doing its thing, chopping the rice stalk up. What's left, we burned all the trash on top. And I'm not going to do a lot of filming on this tractor because it's loud. We're going to disc this field. It's going to take us probably another hour here, and then we're going to go burn some corn stalks. We'll pick you up then and let you along with us while we burn corn stalks. I've had one thing or another go wrong over and over again today, but that's okay. Oh, got a flat on the humdinger here and a low tire on the 270. I've moved this 270 over here to where we had the corn. Not going to do anything here, but just across these trees is the row rice that we had, and I'm going to fluff it with a humdinger real quick. I burned those other fields off and disked them. Had a blowout on my trailer. You can see that. The spare up there. Anyway, it's just been that kind of day. But I'm going to shoot some air in this tire. Go fluff that rice stubble. I'll grab you when we get on that job. I'm going to air this other tire up. Really wanted to burn this today, but I'm running out of daylight, so. And the disc was another thing, the turbo. It has an adjustment where you can tilt it forward and backward. And the knuckle there that hooks the cylinder up to the disc to do the tilting snapped at some point. I don't know when. But it can't tilt right now. So when it can't tilt, you can't run it down the road because it just wants to nose forward and dig the blades into the pavement. And that's no bueno. So we're going to do what we can do. Right now, I can do some turboing. I would burn this, but there's a house over there. The grass is dry. I don't want it to spread, and it's in the afternoon already. Fluffing this rice straw up, you can kind of see the difference of where I haven't went and where I have. Right now I'm going really easy because I'm on the end rows, and this is a 30-inch bed, so it's a rough ride in a tractor. Giving myself room to turn around on the ends. But you can see this vegetation here, how it rips it up, just lays it on the ground. So just kind of let it lay out and cure like hay, and we'll come back and put a mash to this and it'll burn like crazy. That's the plan anyway. Should get this little field done tonight and that little field. This is Sunday. And I should be able to come back on my day off on Wednesday and burn these. And hopefully by then we can have a turbo fixed and I can bring it back and go around the corn, go around this, disc me a barrier, and get it all burned. when we can get this stuff burned, it's just like it's perfect for tillage, because we got all that stuff out of the way. We don't have to contend with trying to bury the trash. We like to put some of the foliage back into the ground, but it's not always possible, especially when you're dealing with rice and stuff like that. Where we live, if it rains, we have flash floods. The straw will float to the bottom of your fields. It's just not the same as like being in the hills where they can lay on top and vertical it in next year. There's a lot of these places where we farm that overflow, but a flash flood, a couple inches, will make water stand. It'll float all that straw to the bottom. You'll never get it dried out. It's just a mess. We actually have some of that we're dealing with right now. If you notice, I'm rocking because we're going over those 30-inch beds at an angle. So it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's bringing all this up, fluffing it to burn. This will get a pretty good burn, and then we'll let it lay for the winter and come back, and depending what kind of shape it's in, we might just spray it and run the hipper chopper, or we might till it. We might turbo it, or maybe pull this humdinger over it. We'll have several options. We'll just kind of figure it out when we get there. Well, it's dark in here, but I'm making some progress getting this rice straw fluffed up the way we need it. Oh, bumpy. Oh, didn't mean to stop there. Anyway, I'm working on this last little row rice field here of where the two are paired up. Going in the dark. My auto steer's messed up. It's the millennial in me whining. But just got about a round left here. No big deal. So in farming talk, a round is down and back. A pass is just down. So you hear us say a pass or a round, you know what we're talking about then. Okay, got off my line here. But anyway, auto steer gets us spoiled. But I've got lines I can follow there. If I stay pretty close to that line, it's the same thing. It's just not doing it for me, and I'm not sure what's going on with my auto steer exactly. But I'll get it figured out another day. Right now, I'll just, like I said, I like about maybe 2 rounds here on this farm. But I'm going to go ahead and call it into the video. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and call it into this video. I appreciate you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Been getting lots of emails. We don't really get many comments on the videos. Maybe because I talk so much. You don't really have to ask any questions. But leave a comment. Hit the subscribe button. It's free. We're going to catch you on the next video.